Afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk Leeds. So we're going to talk about the 2-0 defeat to Monaco. You can't be too down in the dumps. It's a pre-season friendly at the end of the day, and positives about it. There was, it's more minutes in the tank for some players. The first half performance was a decent one. I felt like was moving the ball around nicely. Some standout players in the first half. Ampadu. I think Dan James looked lively in the first half. Strout played quite well. Yeah, it's just little bits and glimmer of what things that could be good in the future, but overall, I know it's only a friendly, but I am feeling a bit meh about it, to be honest. I just feel like we could have played that game 100 times over and still not scored a goal. Like, in friendlies, you're not too bothered about the result. The goals came from a penalty and a quality header. Perhaps Meslier could have done better. I'm not sure. Like people say, he should have been on his line, but if a cross comes in and someone taps it in from 2 yards, you say he should have been a bit off his line to react to it quicker. So I don't know, a bit of hindsight there, but again, it's not about the scoreline. It's the fact that going forward, we just looked timid. I did have things written down and stuff, but in a nutshell, I think first half we were really competitive, and it was an even game. And I went in at half time, and I was thinking, I was feeling quite positive. I was like, well, yeah, we done all right there. Second half, especially the last 20 minutes or so, we just fell off a cliff, and I think we were just being ran all over the shop, if I'm being honest. Especially when Monaco made 11 changes at half time, I felt like the second half we might have a bit more control, but it seemed to be the opposite effect. Standout performance, Ampadu. I think Ampadu looked quality. I really do, and it's made me happy because I thought he was a decent player anyway, but it's sort of reignited that for me that we've got a real coup there for 7 million in Ampadu. And I must say, Pascal Strout looked brilliant. I thought he looked brilliant today. And if you hark back to before he started getting played at left back, CDM and stuff, Strout was a real good centre back. So I'm hoping he can have a run of games. The Hearts game, the Forest game. I'm hoping he can have a real run of games at centre back, and we might see the best of Pascal Strout. Hopefully, I'll get into a few of your comments in a minute. See, Danny and Alison are in the building, and Mike. Thank you, guys. But yeah, I'm feeling a bit meh, but it's not because we lost 2-0, because as I said, it's a friendly at the end of the day, right? It's not the be all and end all. It's just it's going forward. I mean, it's so glaringly obvious we need a number 9. Like, I'm sorry, but Rutter, he just looks like a fish out of water up front. I don't know where the whole rhetoric comes from that he's a centre forward. Get your comments in. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. But he looks good when he's swaying over to the left. He looks like a good sort of left winger, inverted forward. He's not a number 9 for me at all. And then obviously his replacement, Patrick Bamford, is just Patrick Bamford. I just can't see a way forward for Bamford at the club. If anything, he helps out the opposing team's defence more than anything. That one where he just sort of blocked it away. That's literally a mirror of what the centre-back would have done if he was Bamford in that position. I just can't. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Bamford, but he is not our answer to number 9 next season, and I don't think Rutter is either. I mean, when Farker come through the door, he said he sort of preferred him. He sees Rutter as a winger, and then now Rutter's being played up front. I don't know what to make of it. So yeah, there's a bit to talk about really, and also Meslier in goal. I feel like he done all right. I'm not going to blame him for the 2 goals personally. Like, penalty's a penalty, although he never saves a penalty. Like, individually for a penalty, you don't expect a keeper to save it, do you? Like, you always fancy the person who's taking the penalty. But if you look as a whole number, like he must have faced what 10, 15 penalties for Leeds now, never saved one. Like you would think in that amount of time he would get to one, but as I said, individually you can't ever blame a keeper for not saving a penalty, if that makes sense. And for the second goal, I don't know. It was a good header. Maybe he could have done better, Meslier. I don't know, but we want Meslier to play well because if he's going to stay. We want him to be in good shape. And if we're going to sell him, we need to put him in a shop window and he needs to have some good performances because I want to be getting 15 mil for Meslier. And I think if we'd have sold him 2 summers ago, we probably would have got that easily. So, yeah, we need Meslier to hit a bit of form, whether he's staying or going. I thought Sam Byram looked all right at left back. It's quite an interesting one because obviously we heard he was training with the club and then people were saying it's a trial. And then they were quick to point out it's not a trial. He's just getting up to match fitness. Well, if he's just getting up to match fitness, I don't think he plays in a friendly 13, 14 days before the season starts. I think he just trains. So maybe Farke's seen something in him in training that he thinks actually he could be a good addition to the squad because we do need a squad. Like Alison pointed out in the stream yesterday, it's a long old season and you need, a whole squad of 20 who are decent at this level. But he looked all right, I think, Byram. So that's an interesting one, but also it goes to show how much we do need a left back because we can't. Leo Helder looked decent-ish, but we can't go into the season, especially how much importance goes on the right back and left back role in a Farke system. How attacking they've got to be. But still decent defensively. We can't rely on Helder, I don't think. I think we need a left back and we need a centre forward. They're the 2 main signings we need. Left back, centre forward. Then after that, we can sort of be, reactive to what happens with Nonto, Sinistera, etc. Let's get into a few of your comments. Danny Ramsey, hiya mate. We need players, but I think we'll be expecting the better players to stay. So not so many signings. Yeah. Like what I just said, like we're going to be, we need a left back and a centre forward mainly. And then after that, it will just be sort of reacting to who leaves. Like, if we sell Nonto, we might need to get another left winger. Do you know what I mean? Because it looks like Harrison's going to go. Obviously, nowhere to be seen today in the squad. Okay, he's supposedly recovering from his hip operation. Could be true. I don't know. It's quite an easy way out for him not to play, but I think Harrison's going. Hello, Alison. Hope you're good. Thanks for coming again. Agree about the match fitness. Yeah, so that's one good thing out of it. We've got some more minutes in the tank, and pre-season's mainly about that. Just getting minutes in the legs and shaking off little niggles, etc. Alison Adams, we need signings. We do desperately need signings. We signed Dan Perdue. Obviously, that was sort of announced on Monday. I mean, it didn't get confirmed until Thursday, Friday did it. But since then, we haven't signed anyone. I know the 49ers, as we always say, silent assassins working hard in the background. That's all well and good, but we've got 13 days till the season starts. So get some bodies through the door ASAP, please. Mike says it's obvious that we need a goalkeeper, left back, Cam, and a striker. We need to send Swansea a blank check for Perot. Yes, mate, I agree. I think we're getting to that stage now where we can't rely on Rutter as a centre forward. He has a role to play though next season, but not as a centre forward. Patrick Bamford, I mean, Patrick Bamford. Like I've run out of things to say about the man, to be honest. And there's still a few people that like Bamford, and that's fair enough. And it's disappointing it's gone to this, but I just wouldn't care if we released him tomorrow. Like, in my opinion, you could almost look at it playing a bit of devil's advocate. It could be a good thing that he Bamford and Rutter didn't look very good today, because it might just make the 49ers realise, shit, let's go and get Perot. 15, 20 mil, whatever. I think that's a bit overpriced for someone who's got a year left on their contract. But as you dawn closer to the season, you have to sometimes just bite the bullet and pay over the odds for people. So yeah, we need a centre forward. We need a left back, as I said. A goalkeeper, yeah. If we're not going to have Meslier next season, I mean, I'm happy for Meslier to move on. Obviously, Rob Lay's gone to Saudi, so Klaassen. I mean, I don't think Klaasen's a bad keeper, but he's just a backup for me. He's not good enough to be number one. And obviously, Carl Darlow is chasing the gold and signing for Bournemouth, which is whatever. I mean, it's a bit of a side note, but if you're a professional goalkeeper and you've been on the bench for years, wouldn't you want at least to play for a season? I just don't understand it, but whatever. That's a different conversation. And a cam, yeah, we do need a cam. Obviously, we're linked with Mishu and from Fabrizio Romano. That's gone a little bit quiet. Done a video on him the other day. He looks half decent. But yeah, Hamer would be my choice. Yeah, definitely Hamer. Again, is it going to get to the point where we just have to just bite the bullet and pay over the odds? Because we looked a little short today. I feel like we looked a little short, and considering the season is like 2 weeks away, it's a little bit concerning. Like, you know, I think we look a bit light today. Everyone wanting Peru, don't think he fits the system. Yeah, I've seen that rhetoric a few times. I'm not sure, mate. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Perot is going to score 20 goals next season, then I'd take that right now. There is alternatives out there, but off the top of my head, I can't really think of many people. Akpom, I don't know. Have you got any suggestions? Who else? Obviously, it's not our job to go and buy a 20-goal a season striker, but I can't think of too many that are attainable at the moment for me. Rutter as a winger, yeah, fully agree with you there, mate. Rutter is a winger. I don't want to see him up front. You know, for all we know, Farker could just be trialing it and just seeing how he gets on up there. But for me, Rutter, Bamford, Gelhardt, not an option to go into the next season with number 9 as our number 9. Matteo Joseph, I like him, but again, not an option. We need to just go and buy a number 9. Whether we fund that with Jack Harrison money. Also, another point on today is sometimes it's going to look a little bit disjointed because amongst the people who have played today, there's people who probably don't want to be there. There's people who are there but could leave. There's people returning from injury. So it's going to be a bit disjointed. So I'm not like coming in here saying, oh my God, absolute shambles, lost 2-0 to Monaco. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm just a little bit concerned that we still look like we're lacking going forward. I thought Dan James looked all right. I do. But again, we need better than that, like going into the season. Get the ball into Bamford properly. He scores goals. Does he? I mean, I agree with a lot of what you say, but does he? Does he score goals? Leicester at home last season, you know, literally anyone could score that. Misses penalties in key situations. I mean, the year we got promoted from the Championship, he scored 16 goals. He missed about 100 chances. Last season, he had in the Prem, he had one of the worst expected goals conversion. I don't think he does score goals if you get the ball into him. He misses open goals and misses penalties. What more of an opportunity there is to score? So, agree with everything you say normally, Danny, but that I have to disagree with, I'm afraid, mate. Trial possibly for Byram, you mean? Byram gets a while. That'd be a good shout, mate. We need to thicken up the squad, so why not do it by giving him a 1-year contract? I mean, I don't want to be too reactive to what's just happened, but he looked all right, didn't he? He played all right. So let's see how he does if he plays again in the next friendly against Hearts. Then I think you're sort of expecting us to just like go and sign him for a year. Harrison hip operation, won't risk him. Yeah, that's probably true, mate. But part of me just feels like we're not going to see Harrison again. To be honest, I don't know. If Byron can do a job, agree. Yeah, I agree. I think it's mental, isn't it? That it's. I saw Lewis Dayton tweet. It's the year 23, and we've got Byram and Liam Cooper in the squad, but needs must. People saying we need signings. Yeah, we have money, but what if players don't want to come? I mean, yeah, but there'd be a lot of players who want to join Leeds United, right? Especially in the Championship, we're a massive club. there will be people who want to sign for Leeds. So uh, I think it's just a fact of getting the right people to fit a Farker system. And it looks like the 49ers and Farker are going to be working in tandem like they did with the Ampadu signing, which I like. So the players that we get in, we know that Farker wanted as well, which is important, isn't it? So, yeah, but we have got to get the ball rolling like ASAP. I prefer Akpom. And the good thing about Akpom is free agent. $0 required. So rather than spending 20 million on Perot, could there be a case to get Akpom for free and sign Hamer for 20 million instead, or 15 million? Leeds all the way. What's up? Hello, mate. Hope you're good. Liam Moore turned off TV as soon as Bamford come on. Waste of space. Yeah. What where do you go from here with Bamford? What do you do? Can you sell him? Probably not. Is there many teams who are going to want to buy Bamford off us? 70 bags a week he's on. If you're another club, are you going to want to sign Bamford? Probably not. We're forgetting Bamford was playing at about 70% fitness and had to play him because Rodrigo was out. 70% fitness, mate. He should still score open goals and penalties. In my opinion, 50% fitness still should score open goals and penalties. I don't think he can be excused for that. Devil's advocate, he scored 17 in our first year in the Prem and was unbelievable. So I just don't know what's happened to him. It's so frustrating. Like, you see his hat-trick against Aston Villa, his finishes were just deadly. Remember that goal away to Leicester? Deadly, top bin. And I don't know what's happened. I hope there is a solution, and I would love nothing more. This isn't a Patrick Bamford agenda. I used to love Patrick Bamford, and he's such a likable man, and I would love nothing more for him to score 20 goals next season, but I just can't see it. Monaco, a world-class team. I don't know about world-class. They're a good side. But I get your vibe, mate. Like, they're not a bad opposition. So yeah, and again, it's not. But the first half, we more than matched them. So that's a real positive to take. And Ampadu looked brilliant. There's a few positives, and Strauch looked really good in my opinion. But yeah, beat PSG last season. Yeah, beat PSG last season. Pascal was impressive. I agree. If we hadn't had any more signs by Wednesday, I'll start worrying. Yeah, where are we at now? Saturday. Yeah. I mean, there's 13 days till the season starts. So, yeah, I mean, but like I said yesterday, I get the vibe August is going to be like very unstable. Like, I think we're going to see people playing in August who ain't going to be there in September, So, yeah, although I would be worrying a bit as well by Wednesday if we haven't signed anyone else, I also have got to look at the bigger picture. And I think a lot of stuff's going to happen in August, like right up to deadline day. Because best believe if Sinister or Tyler Adams play in August and start ripping it up, teams are going to trigger their release clauses last second, I think. Or they're going to put bids in for them last second. So, yeah, it's going to go right to the wire. It's only game number 2. No need to panic. Who's panicking, mate? I'm not panicking. No one's panicking. I haven't seen anyone panicking. We're just stating the gameplay, mate, and the fact that we could have played that game 100 times and still not scored a goal, and that's quite worrying for me. But yeah, we'll see how it goes against Hearts. Like, yeah, no one's panicking. No one's saying that we're going to come mid-table next season. I still think we're going to come top 2, but you have to look at it for what it is. And then what about if after the Hearts game we look rubbish going forward, and then after the Forest game is still game 3 and 4? No need to panic. Like, at some point you've got to say Rutter looks like a fish out of water up front, and Bamford just doesn't cut it anymore. So we need to go out and get a centre forward. That's all I'm saying, mate, from today. Think once he scores, that will give him confidence. Yeah, and who knows? Maybe in the Championship we might get a good year out of him. And maybe Farker wants to go forward with Bamford. I don't know. But if we see little from the Hearts game, little from the Forest game, then it's evident to me we need to go out and buy a number 9 off the bat, 20 mil, get it done. Do you know what I mean? 36 of you in the building, guys. That's the most I've ever had on a live stream. 37 now. So please smash a like, and I really appreciate you all joining me. Yeah, needs a goal, Danny. He does. He does need a goal. Bit of a nothing performance, but it's pre-season. That's it, mate. And that's all I'm saying. Bit of a nothing performance, but it's pre-season. We've got minutes in the legs. A few positives to take. Ampadu looked brilliant. Pascal Strout looked pretty good. I thought Dan James looked lively. Let me know what you think. I think we're starting to see a bit more of Farker ball, like what it's going to look like. I like the fact that when the fullbacks are bombing on, the CDM sort of covering. We saw that a lot with Archie Gray and Ayling when Ayling was bombing on. Archie Gray was making sure that position is filled. I like that a lot. So that was good. We play Forest on Thursday. Then, did I get it the wrong way around? Okay, mate. Thank you. Is that right? Yeah. Sorry, mate. But yes, and then that's it, isn't it? And then we obviously got Cardiff at home. Patrick Bamford just looks done from John. Yeah, he does look done. And this isn't going to be the Patrick Bamford show, but I think the reason we're talking about it so much is because it's one of the most glaringly obvious concerns that I think Farker and the 49ers will have, is that Rutter just isn't a centre forward. Like you look on like SofaScore and Transfer Market now, they all list him as a centre forward, but I just can't see it. Like, I've watched a lot of football in my life, and I'm no expert, but he's just not an out and out centre forward for me. He's a winger. He really is. First half was okay. Ampadu and Somerville looked okay. Yeah, first half was pretty decent. As I said at half time, I thought I was quite happy with it. I thought that we were stringing some passes together. I think we more than matched him. I thought we were managing defensively. I thought we had good little bits of play going forward. Sort of lacking that cutting edge, but obviously that will come through rustiness as well, But yeah, I thought first half was pretty decent. Second half, last 20 minutes, I think we lost control of the game, and Monaco's quality was sort of showing through. But yeah, there is some positives to take. It's not all doom and gloom. No one's saying it's all doom and gloom. Archie Gray played right back for England, yeah. And that's it, mate. And that's probably why he looked so comfortable filling in for that position, because he's done it before. I would like in our next game to see Drame start. I just wonder if right now, Cardiff at home, I think it's 50-50 who starts at right back out of Drama and Ayling. I do. I think it's a flip of a coin. I would prefer it to be Drame, although Ayling is pretty decent going forward, I have to say, but never been sold on him defensively. Like, I think he looks real suspect defensively, Ayling. He gets too square on. Like, when I play football, I'm a left winger. Never played at a real high level, only county level. But Ayling is a sort of right back you'd want to come up against. Someone who, when you're running at him, he's square on. You could just flip him either way. And it happened time and time again last season. John says, other thing is they are in the Champions League. I know Ligue 1 isn't the Prem, but still streets ahead of the Championship. It is, mate, especially the top of it. Yeah, I agree. And that's why, we played Man United and we played Monaco. From what we can see, obviously we smashed Barnsley, but the thing is, when you beat a team 9-1, you don't really learn a lot from it. You almost learn more from it when you get beat 2-0. So yeah, it's a good point. And as Michael said from Leeds all the way, Monaco are a good side. They're not well classed, but they're a decent side. I mean, who would you compare them to in the Prem? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they're as good as someone like Villa. Maybe like Wolves or something. I don't know. Like they're not, they're nothing spectacular, but they're a decent side. So it's a good run out against decent opposition. 3 managers have been in charge, and Drame still not full time in the starting right back. Yes, mate, I get it, and I see that a lot, and you wonder why, don't you? you wonder why. Although he had a good time on loan at Cardiff, good time on loan at Luton, both in the Championship, which is where we're at now. Like if we're in the Premier League, I'm not calling for Drame to be our starting right back, but in the Championship, I'll be happy with it. Next week, half a new team, all good, fresh start. Yeah, that's what I mean, mate. We'll see what happens in the next one before we start worrying too much. Like I'm not worried. I'm just highlighting we need a centre forward and we definitely need a left back. I'm convinced that Farke's seen something that he likes in Byram. Was Farke with Byram at Norwich as well? I think he was, wasn't he? Think he might have been. So yeah, I think they've worked together before and that. And I'd love Sam Byram to come back. I used to really like Byram, but I don't think he'd be anything more than a squad option. But that's all good with me. Like if you got Byram, you get Stuart Dallas back to match fitness. They're good little people, quite versatile. Like Byram can pretty much play on either wing. He's a good fullback. Dallas the same. So. Yeah, they're good little position fillers in case of injury, tired legs, etc. Like Championship's a long old season. Brighton, mate. What you think Monaco as good as Brighton? I don't know. It's hard to judge, isn't it? Because the French league honestly, it's real poor standard. So it's hard to judge. But yeah, they are a Champions League team, a Europa League team. But then so are Glen Toran. So I'm not taking too much from what European competition they're in. But yeah, they're not a bad side, Monaco. Like if they were in the Prem, they'd come top half, wouldn't they? Probably. Is that fair enough? Top half Prem side, I'd say. So yeah, I think Farke bought Byram after promotion. Oh, okay, yeah, and that's it. Free agent Byram just to bolster up the ranks. I'm all about that. I'd get it done, and yeah, he was. So yeah, so. We can take from today, I think the positives we can take. Let's go through the positives. Strelk and Ampadu looked really good, which is good because Pascal Strelk, I mean, since that tackle on Elliott, was it from Liverpool? He hasn't been himself, right? But to be fair to him, he's been played left back, CDM in a team that's getting slapped up every week. Right, we're getting battered every week. It ain't easy being a defender in a team that gets bashed about every week. So maybe if we get a string of games in centre back in the Championship, we might get the old Pascal Strelk back that we all loved and adored. Well, I did anyway. Dan James looked pretty decent, I thought personally. Somerville looked sharp. His passing's a bit rusty, but I think that's again just through lack of match fitness, really. And being a bit sloppy at times, but I thought Somerville looked all right. What else have we got? Helder looked pretty decent. Archie Gray looked really good. Still only a young lad, but I'm hoping he has a big role to play next season. Probably more off the bench, more of a cut player. But I thought Archie Gray looked pretty decent, so that was good. And yeah, I think as far as positives go, we played some good football as well. First half, I was quite happy. I thought we were starting to see a bit of Farke ball. The fullbacks are up high, and I thought it looked good. And now negatives. Centre forward, biggest negative. We I think it's glaringly obvious. We need a striker. Danny Rumsey will shoot me down in flames, but I think we need a centre forward, big time. Like I want that to be our next signing, or a left back. Other negatives, tailed off a bit at the end, but that again that's through lack of match fitness. But in a nutshell, some good signs. Not going to take too much from the scoreline. One was a penalty. It is what it is with the scoreline. I'm just looking forward to the next game even more now because I just want to see what improvements we can make from today. And by the way, I had an absolute howler. Rather than just paying a £5 for LUTV, I've already got Planet VPN to change it to French. I tried doing that. It kept disconnecting. So I was getting all kinds of streams, and now I think my computer's been riddled with viruses. I don't know. I saw most of the game, like 90% of it, but it was lagging a lot and I had to keep clicking off ads. So next time, pay £5 for LUTV. Chronicles, sorry. We are short of a striker and a number 10. That game proved it. Absolutely, mate. And you know what? It sounds really like a bit moody of me, but I'm quite part of me, not part of me because I haven't got a gender against Bamford, but I just know he isn't going to be enough next season. Please clip it up and prove me wrong if that turns out to be the complete opposite. And I don't like Rutter as a number as a 9. So I think there could be every cloud and all that. There could be a positive out of today is that Farker and the 49ers are going to sit there and they're going to think, shit, we desperately need a striker. And I hope that that's the only positive that can come out of us looking quite poor in that area is that they panic and just go and buy someone. And I don't want them to get a panic signing, but I mean, if someone's available for 20 mil and they only wanted to pay 14, just get it done. Just pay 20 million and get it done. And yeah, we do need a number 10 as well. Like we'll see a lot of trial in Nonto, Somerville, Sinistera there, Gelhardt. I mean, actually, we haven't spoke about Gelhardt. I thought he looked all right as well. So maybe Gelhardt could be there, but we want a Hamer, don't we? We want someone who's going to score 10, 15 goals and just like look unreal. I said Monaco, a bit like Palace. Yeah. I think that's a good shout, mate. Mid-table sort of side in the Prem. Gray, Ampadu, and James were the positives. Yeah. And Strauch, do you agree with Strauch? Or you're not sold on Strauch? Strauch was okay. Just seeing your next comment. Novo Bariva. Yep, good shout, mate. There were a couple of people missing. Harrison obviously wasn't playing, but yeah, I think his time might be done. Hope I'm wrong. I Fire Stick couldn't find it when do you know what? I really need to get myself one of these. So annoying. Yeah, I had an absolute nightmare. I was getting so annoyed. Like before the game, I was like just going to get out your TV, and then I saw that tweet from Monaco. Oh, you can watch it live. Blah, 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 blah. Then I soon realised you needed VPN. I already had VPN because I had it for something else, for some other movie website that I get. You can like get all the movies straight out the cinema. So I'd had that for a long time. You can watch the movies before they're in the cinema, something like that. And then so that I thought, bosh, I'll just use that. And then that started lagging. So I clicked off that, started downloading all these things from Twitter and Google, and it was a bit of a nightmare. But I still got to watch most of the game, which is the main thing, and I saw everything what happened. It was just a bit annoying. So yeah, I'm going to get myself a Fire Stick, or I'm just going to pay £5, just bite the bullet and pay it. Isn't it a bit crap though how Monaco stream it live for their fans and how you TV want to charge us a £5 a head? I don't like that. Like that, a bit of a sour taste for me. Sorry guys, nicotine needed. 52 of you in the building. Thank you all so much. Please smash a like and subscribe if you haven't. I'm nearly at 1,000 now, which is mental because I've done 30 videos and I've only been doing it a few months. So yeah, thanks so much for all your support. It means a lot. It really does. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 before the season starts. Well, actually, that's only in 10 days, so I should do really, shouldn't I? Typical Gelhardt, though, wasn't it? A few nice... yeah. Gelhardt pierces through the heart, but never kills. I think that's the vibe I've always got from Gelhardt. Pierces through the heart, but never kills. But there is a player there, and he is looking in tip-top condition, isn't he? Still like looking a bit stocky, but it's really trimmed down. So I think he has a role to play next season, Gelhardt. So I'm hoping we see a bit more of him. Farker is on it. He knows results will follow. Yep, I trust Farker. You don't win the championship twice at a canter if you don't know what you're doing. He was obviously big on Ampadu as well. And Ampadu looked brilliant today. Like aggressive in a tackle, direct, neat and tidy on the ball, breaks up the play nicely. Nicely. So, yeah, I think he's going to be brilliant next season. I'm looking forward to that. That's a real good signing. And that's the thing. If the 49ers are working in silence in the background and we don't hear stuff and we all getting a bit tetchy and a bit agitated, just know that there could be another Ampadu a day away from being announced. So yeah, it's hard to keep calm sometimes because you just want us to like get these players through the door, but you want them to get the right people, don't you? The talk about Kamara's all gone a bit quiet as well, isn't it? Obviously, the geezer from Rangers, it's all gone a bit silent. So I don't know if that's tailed off a bit, maybe, or Leeds didn't want to pay 5 mil. I don't know, but we'll see in the next few days. Alison says, I found it. It's on a friendly channel. Yeah, I need to get myself one of those. Danny Rumsey said, Joe had someone send. Yeah, so I did tune into Joe for about 10 minutes during half time and then a bit again towards the end. And it was, what was he called? Leeds Chief or something, which is really good because if anyone deserves those sort of donations, it's Joe, isn't it? Like, you know, he gives us so much. Like, and me personally, he's helped me so much. And he didn't need to. Like, when I first messaged him, I was literally like non-existent. I mean, I still almost am. Like, I'm still a nobody in this game. But I was literally, I had like 200 subscribers and I had like 3 videos out. And he you know, he sent me his mic. He's helped me with so much advice. I've been on his channel. So if anyone deserves all those donations, it's Joe. What a man. Yeah, what a man. But yeah, so yeah, we've covered everything. Basically, first half was decent, and if the second half could have mirrored the first half, then I think we'd all be sitting here pretty chuffed, wouldn't we? Even with a 2-0 defeat, like I don't really care about the scoreline too much. Obviously, it's nicer to win, but it is what it is. Like when we beat Barnsley 9-1, I wasn't like, wow, buzzing, we beat Barnsley 9-1. I was just annoyed that I couldn't see anything that had happened and I just heard snippets online. Friendlies are just all about seeing the performance, isn't it? But a few positives to take going into the next one, I would say. Things that we need to work on. I think, again, attacking is just, you know, going forward. I mean, how many shots did we have on target? Did we? I can't really remember any. Did we have one or two? I can't even remember any, really. We had like a few half chances. Lacking a bit that final killer pass. Dan James a couple of times. Somerville a couple of times. Nonto a couple of times. Just that final pass. I think a few people try stuff that they haven't got in their locker. A few people think they're Pablo Hernandez when they're not. So yeah, we got a lot to build on. But I just wonder who's going to be here come August 6th. Like, I'm really interested to see what's going to happen. Like, we sort of get the vibe that Sinisterra is staying. I agree with that, but I still think there's a chance he could leave, especially if he rips it up in August. Imagine August comes, Sinisterra scores 5 goals in August. People look at him and think, right, he's had a few injuries, but he's still the dogs, you know. I think people could come in for Sinisterra, and I don't think we're going to keep Sinisterra and Nonto. I think one of them will go. I've said it before, I say it again. We need to raise money from somewhere. It can't just be all buy. We need to keep intact with FFP. I can see Nonto going. How much would you take for Nonto? 20 mil, maybe? 20, 25? 25 mil, I'd be satisfied with, I think. I love Nonto. I do love Nonto. And I think he's going to be an unreal player. And I think he is. But he's still a tiny bit unproven for me. Like, a tiny bit. He's had some real good moments in the sun. But I think there's a little bit inconsistency there. And when he returned from injury, he wasn't quite the same player he was. Although he was in and out the starting lineup, wasn't he, under Gracia? And why is that? I mean, at the time, we was all like, "Oh, Gracia's an absolute nut job, doesn't know what he's doing." But I'm sorry, if you're a manager fighting for your job and you're seeing someone in, you know, every day in training, you don't leave him out if he's setting the world alight. I don't know. There's something there. Like I think Nonto is a like class player. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think there must be something there with him. I don't know what it is. Like, we don't see him day in, day out at training, do we? But there must be something there with him. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Obviously, under Jesse Marsh, we was Nanto FC, and he was unreal. So yeah, it's I don't know. Keith, 30 mil or keep for Nanto? You think we'll get 30 mil for him? I'm not sure, mate. I think if we got 30 mil to him, we'd be quite lucky. Like I think 25, 20, 25. I don't know. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Like people compare him to Harvey Barnes and Maddison. Like you can't do that. Like these geezers are proven year in year out in the Prem at the highest level. At one point, when Leicester were like banging on the door for Europe and that, I think you've got to look at more the price of Alex Scott. And people say, yeah, but he played in the Championship. He's had 2 real good seasons in the Championship, playing like nearly how many games? 90, 100 games in total, or whatever it is. And that could be wrong, but I'm sure he's had 2 seasons of playing nearly every week. I know he played nearly 50 times last season. Nanto, smaller sample size, but still looking brilliant when he does play. Obviously, broke into the Italian team. He's an absolute baller, Nanto, don't get me wrong. But personally, I'd rather keep Sinistera than Nanto. I think. I don't know. It is tricky. It is tricky. Agree. Top guy. Yeah, talking about Joe. Yeah, absolute amazing guy. Graham Smith saying Rober didn't play due to transfer situation. Oh, I haven't seen that. Really? Oh. What is that on his Twitter, is it? I'll have to check that out. Looks like he's off. Well, if he's off and he doesn't want to be here, then I don't want you, mate. If you don't want to be here, it's the same with all of them. It's the same with all of them. If you want to go, then just go, man. I don't want you here. None of you are bigger than the club. It's the same with all these clowns that have left on loan. Aronson, Lorente. If you don't want to be here, just go. We don't want anyone in that starting lineup who isn't starting 11, who isn't 150 million% committed, do we? We just don't want it. We don't need it. Like we're better than that. Like if you don't want to be here, go. Voba, you don't want to be here, go. Nanto, if you don't want to be here, go. Whatever, just go. Yeah, I know it's depressing, isn't it? Because I really like him as well, and in the Championship, I think he would be unbelievable. But if his head's not in it, then I don't want you here. My opinion. I prefer Harrison and Lazy. Somerville to go. Harrison's quality, mate. People. Oh, like he's got a nickname, hasn't he? Hot and cold Harrison, inconsistent Harrison, head in the sky Harrison. Honestly, Jack Harrison's a quality footballer. He's just too much of a confidence-based player. The stats he puts up season in, season out are brilliant, and I think there'd be a lot of clubs after Harrison, and I wonder if it's all gone so quiet because people just waiting for another club to make a move. But I would expect 25 mil for Harrison. I would. I would expect that 25 mil for Harrison. Arsenal fan here, was sad to see Leeds go down. Nassim Ali, thanks for joining, mate. It's good to have fans of other clubs in here. Was sad to see Leeds go down. Yeah, me too, mate. I was sad as well. Although I was like resigned to the fact. So, I knew it was coming. But before it happened. And isn't it mental? I hate dwelling in the past. I'm not dwelling, guys. I'm not being negative. Positive vibes only from now on. But isn't it mental that from that Palace game, like live in play, I think we only got 1 more point more than that total whilst in play against Palace. I hope I've said that right. I think I did. Like since being 1-0 up against Palace and the live league table at that point, we've only got 1 more points from that point onwards. So I would love I would pay money to see what happened at half time in that game. My vibe is that foul that Rocker gave away just before half time that led to the goal. I think that was brought up. I think Rocker's probably said, "Hang on, Luke, you're absolute shit anyway." I don't know. Who knows? But from there, we were a plane flying. It looked like after smashing Forest, we were going to be fine. Then it just wing clipped, tumbled to the ground. Good night, Vienna. I don't know. Don't know what happened. Ain't up for it. Go. Exactly, Allison. Talk a lot of sense. Always on the money. If you're not up for it, go. We don't know passengers here. Give 110% or just leave. Give Charlie a chance. Yeah, what do you think of his performance today? I don't know. At times, I thought he looked a bit sloppy, but I do like Charlie Cresswell. And I do want him to stay and have a role to play next season. But I think he needs to get back up to match fitness a bit, because today I thought he looked a little bit sloppy. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Only silly bids accepted. Okay, so scenario for you. Voba doesn't want to be here, wants to go. A bid comes in of 12 million, who we could then go and buy a player with who wants to be here and wants to give their all. What'd you do? Jack Harrison, bid comes in for 20 million. We reject it. We keep rejecting it. He was rotting on the bench. What do you do? Like, I get it. We don't want to. We definitely don't want our bellies to be rolled over and tickled. Sorry, we don't want to be rolled over and our bellies tickled. Butchered that. But at the same time, we don't want people here who don't want to be here. So it's like a razor blade, isn't it? It's getting it right. And the 49ers said they're going to be aggressive. That involves keeping players at the club who are going to get us back to the Prem, and also getting fees for these players, which is going to help us, and money that we can replace them with. Leeds all the way. Woba missed game as leaving as per Farker. Okay, well, yeah, as Alison said, as I said, don't want to be here. You know where the door is. So already flashed that one up. Harrison is better than fans give him credit for. I agree, mate, 110%. He slandered so much, but his work rate is through the roof, honestly. So you get wingers, yeah, who loiter around up there, stay up there, and they get the ball, and they've got so much energy because they don't track back, that they then have so much more energy to do more in an attacking sense. And I know they're professional footballers, right? Then they should have fitness levels through the roof, but they're not superhuman. Like, they're still humans. They still get tired. But Harrison, for 90 minutes, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I love Harrison, and I'd love it if we could keep him, but not going to happen in my opinion. 12 million. Well, that's what I just said, Fergal. I think 12 million, 10 to 12 million. If we got 10, I'd be like, okay, it's not too bad, but I'd like a little bit more. Alison says Fergal need to be standing firm on transfer fees. We do, because we're going to need to replace them. That's the thing. And all these clowns who have left for free, if we'd have got, as I said the other day, if we'd have got 15 mil for Aronson, 5 mil for Llorente, and just these little fees would have added up, then we might not be so in such need of selling some of our better assets for bigger fees, right? Because we would have had a bit of money in the bank. But we do need to raise a bit of dollar, guys. It can't be all spend. Chris Glee, people like Harrison and a few others think that they are too good to play in the Championship. Then why did we go down? Yeah. We haven't got a player at the club who's too good for the Championship, other than one. I think Sinistera is. If we get 30 to 35 games out of Sinistera, he will break records in that division. Like, he didn't look brilliant today. But we know how good Sinistera is, and other than him, I don't think we've got anyone who's too good for the Championship. Excuse me. So yeah, been going for nearly an hour, guys. Enjoying it, actually. 58 of you in the building at the moment. New channel. I'm sort of going live and then seeing what the vibes are, seeing who's tuning in. But 58 of you in the building is a record for me. I know it sounds silly, but it is, and I really appreciate it a lot. So thank you so much, all of you. Bate should be given a chance. Yeah, I think Bate has a role to play next season, but I think it will be a real squad player. I don't know, man. If I'm Lewis Bate, I'm probably just going to go. I don't know. People rave about Lewis Bate and that, but I mean, how much have you all really seen of him? Have you all seen lots of him? I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen that much of him personally, so my opinion can be taken with a pinch of salt, I openly admit. But How good is he? I don't know. Squad will come together. Need to stay patient. Yes, mate. As I just said, we didn't hear nothing about Ampadu, and we like that he was signed. So there could be another 2 or 3 Ampadus in the door, waiting to come through the door tomorrow. We just don't know. Obviously, not in his position, but up front, left back, goalkeeper. It could all be happening. It could all be announced tomorrow. So yeah, we've got to stay patient. But at the same time, as a Leeds fan, with what's happened to us in the past, we have numerous battle scars. It's hard to stay patient, and it's hard not to worry at times. I forgot how much we bought him for, Allison. Yeah, how much did we buy Voba for? Was it about that? About 8? Was it 8 million or something like that? Anyone know? Oh yeah, Allison, well done. 8 million. We work in tangents, me and you. Great minds. New players coming in next week. Yeah, they should be. Well, they need to be. you know. What do you take from that? They best be coming in next week, mate. Because if they don't, we're the clock's ticking. Excuse me, I hate doing this, but needs must. Voba has one of those clauses apparently, but if he goes out on a sodding loan, yeah, you can see that, can't you? Going out on loan. The thing is, I just feel like if people go out on loan and then we get promoted, no matter who they are, I just don't want them. Don't want them to play for us. It's like your missus leaving you, and then you win the lottery, and they come back and say, "Oh, hello, darling." Like, no, turn around, walk back out that door. He will score 20 at this level, but needs a proper striker to play off. Are you on about Cine? Yeah, I think Sinistera would score 20 in the championship, 15, 20 anyway, something along that. Pinpoint bait, keep. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm not saying let's get rid of the guy tomorrow. I'm not saying he needs to stay. Like, if he got loaned out tomorrow, would you be really disappointed? Would you be like, oh, no? Or would you just be like, oh, it is what it is? I think more people would be, it is what it is. Channel is okay. Just subscribe. Thank you, mate. Thanks for subscribing. And thank you for saying that the channel is okay. It will get better. Might get a little backdrop going soon, a signed shirt behind me or a flag or something. I don't know. Just bunged into the spare room at the moment and set it up. Still learning, still grinding. Thanks, Lloyd. Diggler TC, hello, mate. Thanks for coming in again. You always show your face, which I really appreciate. I think that Harrison has had more than enough starts in the Leeds first team for him to show us what he can do. I'd get rid. Thing is, he has shown us what he can do, hasn't he? He scored. His stats are his stats are pretty decent. I'm just going to Google his stats. I'm pretty sure he scored like 30 odd goals for us, 8 in the Prem a few years in a row or something thereabout. Sometimes my screen lags when I'm browsing, so bear with me. Jack Harrison. God, he doesn't even come out of there. He is. No, not Jack Harrison, born in 1916, 1996. So he scored. He's played 200 games, just under 200 games, and he scored 31 in total. It's not that bad, is it? He works hard. I don't know. Like, a lot of people are the same opinion of you, mate. They're all sort of saying the same thing. But I like Jack Harrison personally, and I'm gonna die on that hill with that sword. I think Voba's clause is a fee clause. I mean, I'd rather that, mate. If you don't want to be here, just go. I don't want any of you back. All the indication was that Voba wanted to stay unless something happened, but that's what I thought, mate. And he had the captain's armband the other day, didn't he? And people were saying he's going to be captain or whatever, or I don't know. And just on the captaincy, I don't want Liam Cooper to be captain next season. Let me know if any of you disagree, but I want him around the place. I do, and I don't think he's as bad as people think. But if Adams stays, it's got to be Adams captain, hasn't it? Harrison's inconsistent, but when he's on it, he's a top player. Yeah, that's a fair shout. He is inconsistent and he is frustrating. Is he worth having I don't know, especially in the championship, mate. Can you imagine Harrison in the championship again? He would cook, honestly. And that's what it's going back to what someone said earlier. We depending on who we keep, we might not need too many signings. Like we definitely need a centre forward and a left back, but that's because of the people we got there. But if we can keep two of Sinistera, Somerville, Nonto, Harrison, then they're going to cook the league alive anyway. So yeah, we might not need too many players, and also people forgetting we've got Darko JB who's going to play a role, right? So he's almost like a new signing. Kode Drama is almost like a new signing. Joe Gelhart will do all right in the championship. He's almost like a new signing. So we've got people to thicken up the squad. It's just getting people in now like Ampadu who are going to take like a key role up in the team. So yeah, not having a striker gives me shivers. Yeah, today, mate. I'm hoping, like I said, silver lining and all that. I'm hoping that because nothing happened up there at all, I'm hoping that will lead to the 49ers hitting the panic button a little bit and just being like, we need a centre forward right now, tomorrow. Digler TC, I tend not to go with stats so much. I look at the player and see how he plays. I agree though that his stats look okay. Yeah, but I'm not just talking about his stats. I'm talking about his work rate as well, mate. I think Jack Harrison, not one person in this chat or anyone watching this can say that he does not work his bollocks off. He does. He really does. So, but that's, you know, I'm not a clown. I going by what you're saying, I can also see where you're coming from. Like his final delivery sometimes is just not enough. He if something goes wrong for him, he never can use that as motivation to make the next bit of play better. He just, that's it. Like if something goes wrong in the first 10 minutes, he's just down in the dumps looking at his feet or looking at the heavens. And I don't get why, because he must know deep within he's got ability. Like, just get over it, mate, and just get on with it. Harrison is so disciplined, though. He helps the whole team. He is disciplined, and he does get back and defend. 2 strikers needed. Yeah. Well, 2 strikers needed. So if we got like an out-and-out number 9 for 20 mil, and then we've got, if Bamford going to hang around the place, like I don't think Bamford's a bad backup. And we've got Joseph as well. And we've got Rutter, who apparently can play there. We've got Joe Gelhart, who can sort of play there. I don't know. Like, we definitely need 1, obviously. And 2 would be nice. But if we just sign 1, I wouldn't be, like, panicking because I know that we've got, like, reasonable backup. So we definitely need 1. 2 would be nice. But, yeah. And we need a left back. 2 most important positions, striker, left back. Then after that, it's just filling gaps, I think, and reacting to people who may be leaving. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys. We've been going for nearly an hour, and thanks to all of you. I think we got up to 60 people at one point in the house. Please smash a like and subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate all your feedback. As I said, again, this was just going to be a little 10-minute reaction, but because you've all joined, because you've all been getting your comments in, it gives me something to talk about. So in a nutshell, we're not going to panic about today. We're going to take the positives. We're going to look forward to our next game and see how we can improve on things. We saw some decent performances out there. Ampadu especially looks brilliant. Dan James looked lively. Strelka, in my opinion, looked pretty good. Sam Byram looked half decent when he came on. So there's a lot of positives. We tailed off a bit at the end, so we're going to hopefully see a better last 20 minutes in the next game and more of a complete performance, but some definite positives to take. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. We'll do another preview and review of the next game. And again, thanks to all of you for joining and get your comments in. I really appreciate it. And for those of you watching back, please get your comments in the comment section below. I reply to every single comment. You will not be able to find me one comment that I haven't replied to, because without you lot, this channel is just pointless. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for all your comments and all your support, and I shall see you again soon.